Hi everyone, my name is Anvita Bansal and we are back with another lecture from your SDE sheet. So today's topic is going to be recursion and backtracking. So we will solve the first problem from this section. Let's move to the problem statement. So this is a very good problem if you want to understand how recursion is taking place. I wouldn't say it's more of a backtracking thing, but yes, you will understand how we are repeatedly making use of the same function. That is the main catch of the question. So you are given a string s, remove all its adjacent duplicate characters recursively. So let's try to understand this. Test case, I would say, wouldn't be sufficient for you to understand the question. Let me take both the examples. Other one is ABC. So let me take this. Geeks for geek. Okay. Just give me a second. Wait. Not able to show you the screen. Give me a moment. Just a second, guys. Give me a moment. Let me just fix this. Let's do one thing. Today I'll have to take it on a different board. Let's start with it. Okay. So I hope you all can see my screen. Sorry for this delay. Okay. So we have two examples here. Let me check if I can make it. Fine. So let's look here. We have two examples. Geeks for geek. Okay, one is this. Other one is, let me take both of them, A, B, C, C. Can't do that. A, B, W, C, 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 E, double A. Double CBA. Double CBA. Okay. So if you want to remove duplicates, let me just have a look if you guys are properly able to see me. Fine. So if you want to remove duplicates from here, what your string will look like? It will finally look like you will remove these, right? Then what all duplicates you can see, you will remove these. Okay, why am I saying this particular test case is not sufficient for you to understand the question, because here you are having a look at only the duplicates which you are seeing in the string in one iteration, right? If you iterate over the string once, whatever duplicates you got, you just removed it from the string and you return the string. But your question is beyond that. Why am I saying your question is beyond that? Because if you run one iteration in this string, and let's say we have a function to remove recursively all the duplicates. Let's say that thing has been taken care of. So in one iteration, after removing all the duplicates, how your string is going to look like? So I will remove these double C's I can see here. Any other duplicates, adjacent duplicates am I finding? No, not as of now. So after removing them, my string will look like this. But your question doesn't end here. Your question says that in all the iterations, they've not explicitly mentioned that all the iterations. This you need to understand, that how they are expecting you to return answer. So now the string that you have, what are the duplicates in this string? Adjacent duplicates, if I find out, it will be triple B. So after removing them, my resultant string will be this. But wait, another set of duplicates can be found in this resultant string. So if I remove it as per my question, I will be left with an empty string. Is that right? And this is finally what you should return in your question. Fine. So you can see the output is an empty string. Now I think this discussion itself has given you the basically the steps that you are going to do. Had it been just this kind of a question, that in one iteration, means you just have a look at the string, see what are the adjacent duplicates. Now no matter how your resultant string looks like, just return it. It wouldn't be the recursion, it wouldn't be the question of recursion then. It would be the question of an iteration. Okay. But since we have to take care of resultant strings also until there are no duplicates left, so that is where we are going to use recursion. But that is the entire thing about this question, nothing else. Now how are we going to handle this thing? See, my iteration will be, now the entire thing is, at every recursion, your string that you are passing, let's say initially to my function I am passing this string, but after executing the function, the string that I got as my resultant got changed, right? Now my function should be working on this string, and resultant string that I got after executing this function was this string. Now my function should execute. So wait, we are actually changing the structure of our original string. This was our original string and we are changing its structure. And if we kept on doing this, how will we compare if it is different from the string we passed? We need to compare it, right? Because if you wouldn't keep the track of it, how will you know if the duplicates are there, right? So for that, we will take a copy of the current string. Correct? Let's see how we are going to do this. Let me just write this test case again, and we will iterate and recurse over that test case and then understand. B double C, then it is B double C here. B double C B A. Fine. So let's do one thing. Initially, I take a string S, let's say, whatever, it can be anything. 1 second, let me also just check if you guys are able to see the right screen. Okay, I think that's okay. Fine. So what are we going to do is, let's take some string str. Let's take some string str, which is keeping the track of your original string, right? And this is your given S. Now do one thing, while what? While this S dot length is not equal to your initially, see, I am keeping a copy, and what I want to do is, while your current string length is not equal to this extra string that you are passing, fine, till that time call the recursion. Now what you are doing, this condition we will write first. Let's understand till when we need to do this. So initially the string I am taking S as an empty string, okay, and I will check while S dot length is not equal to str.length. Okay, if that is the case, then what you are doing, first of all, make a copy of this current string. This is str. Make a copy of this current string. S should be now stored with str so that we know which string we are copying, and then you call the function, let's say func, okay, in which you are passing what? Not the copy but the original string. So let's cut it down. Let's cut it down in this way for the ease of understanding. Let me write it original string and str. Okay, so let's write it as this is your org str. Fine. And now let's create another string and copy str. This is your copy str is initially empty. Now what I am doing is while what? The length of copy str dot length is not equal to original str dot length. Why am I doing so? You will understand this condition. First, let's say we are doing so. Since initially they are not equal, this is empty string and this is a string which has so many characters. So obviously we will fall under this loop and we will first of all make a copy. So this copy str will contain your original str, right? So your copy str right now has this string and then you pass in your function the original str. Fine. Okay, and you keep on doing this thing and finally when you come out of this loop you return what? Your org str. Oh, 1 second. You pass the copy str because you are making change to copy str every time. You return copy str. Now what we need to understand here is that how will you call the function. So let's make this function func, which is taking your string, which is your original string, right? org. Now I am writing it org. What are we doing here? So every time currently I have a, b. This part you need to understand very thoroughly. So I initially, and I am also passing some index idx, or also you can do one thing that instead of let me just check it here. I don't think so we need to pass anything. I start my iteration within this function. What I am doing is I initialize it at 0th index. Now I check str of I, this org of I, is it equal to org of I plus 1? If org of I is equal to org of I plus 1, then what you need to do? You need to remove all the duplicates till you are finding them. But since it is not equal, so we can update our, let's say we are taking some other string which is your resultant string and I am updating it with the org.caret_i. Fine. I just insert this a into my resultant string. So I am making the resultant string here. Okay. This is my resultant string as of now. It looks like this. It has only a. Now increment the count of I. Your I is at b's index. You compare ith character with I plus 1th character. Okay, this is I plus 1th. Both are same? No, both are not same. So append it to your string. I am appending it to my string. There is some, you can assume that I am taking a new string builder in which I am appending it. Now increment the count of I. Now you check with I plus 1. Are they same? Yes, they are same. So wait till they are same. So what we are doing, if ith character caret I is equal to caret I plus 1. So you will be removing all the duplicate characters. So run a loop within this if condition till what time? While first of all your I should go till n minus 2th index. So while your I is less than n minus 1 and this char of I keeps on being equal to char of I plus 1. Okay. You do what? You simply increment the count of I because I do not want to include it into my final string. So my I was here. I found it equal to I plus 1. Now my I is here. Now when I find it not equal to the next I, you just come out of the loop, okay? There must be some else condition in which we are actually appending, right? So when we are doing so, after this, so this is part of this if. Within this if, I have this while, and then I'm writing some else, and when I'm out of this, I am doing I plus plus. The reason is anyway if it goes in else condition, let's say initially it was at B and it was not equal to C. So what you wanted to do, you wanted to increment your I, right? So it falls in else condition, in which you append, in else case you append caret I, right? And then you come out of this else condition and then increment the I. Now when you are in this while loop, when you found C equal to this C, you incremented the count of I. Now when this C is not equal to B, you come out of this while loop, again increment the count of your I. Now your I is at this position. So far you can see your resultant string is AB, correct? Now again compare. If caret I is equal to caret I plus 1, it is not equal. Do what? Do I plus plus. So I is at C now. Now check for next I plus 1th condition. So I fall into this if condition, and this if condition will be doing the incrementing the count of I till I am getting that same duplicate element which is present at ith index. So while I is less than n minus 1, that is true, and caret I is equal to caret I plus 1, you do I plus plus. So my I is now at this position. Again go to while's condition. I is less than n minus 1, correct, but char of I is C and I plus 1 is B. They are not equal, so come out of this while loop. Coming out of this while loop, now you go to I plus plus and you come at this position. Now you again come into this condition. So I am doing all of these within a upper while loop which says while your I is less than n, correct? So this is all part of this bigger while loop. Fine. So now again I check if caret I is equal to caret I plus 1. It's not equal. So you go to the else condition, you append it. So after appending it, this B shall be appended. But wait, when I came at this AB, let me check if I have AB double C B double C B A, right? So now I must have appended this B also. This C was not. Now this B has been appended. Okay, fine. Now your I is at this index. So when your I is at n minus 1th index, this condition will anyway fail, right? Because you are always making this check if your I is less than n minus 1. You have to make this check for that only, and then you will fall into this. So this condition doesn't hold true. You directly go to else part and you append it to your string and then do I plus plus, index out of bounds, and you are out of this while loop. Wait, now you have come at the end of this function. So this function will return a triple B A to what? This function was called from this while loop. So this function will return some string, and this string should be part of what? What did you create? You create this original you created copy string in which you copied original string. Then you were modifying your original string using this function. So now your original string is a triple B A, and your copy string was what? That one, the original string that you passed, but now it is this. Again go to your while loop. Your copy string length is what? Your copy is this one. Your copy will be pointing to this, and your original string will be pointing to this. The lengths are not equal. So now original string will be modified again, and we will make a function called to func, in which I will be passing a triple B A. So now let's pass a triple B A and see what our function does to it. Same thing that I told you in the beginning. We are just going to do it over and over again unless we have gotten rid of all the duplicates. Okay, now your function call has been made for the function which is taking a triple B A as the argument. So func for a triple B A. Okay, so I start with I at 0, a triple B A, and here I will be updating my string which will go into original string. Okay, so finally for this function, let's say there is some string builder SB in which I will be updating. So I am writing SB here. I am updating SB here. Let me write it here. See, I'm sure you must have got the gist of the problem completely, but I will dry run again so that you can understand the entire flow. So now let's say this is SB, temporary string, which is part of this function, which will be appended accordingly. Okay, so original string passed as this. I is at 0th index at A. It will check if caret I is equal to caret I plus 1. A is not equal to B. So you go to the else condition, and append it to your SB. So SB will become A now. I plus plus, I is at this now. So B, I is equal to I plus 1th character. So what do? You go in the while loop until you are finding this B to be, means this character to be equal to the I plus 1th character, do I plus plus. So it is equal, I bring my I here, while I should be less than n minus 1. My maximum I that can go will be at this position. So it is same again, I goes here. Now nothing, I will just come out of this while loop and then my I will be incremented to this part. Okay, so if while your I is less than n, if condition will not hit, because I can go only till n minus 2th index, so I go to the else part, simply append it to my SB, it will become double A, and I will be incremented. I will become at this position, which is nth index, and it will be index out of bounds, right? That means I have hit the end of this function. I will return so this function is returning you that return SB, whatever SB I am creating for that function, I am returning that. So original string will now be stored with double A. This will become double A. Now copy str was what? The string that we passed to this function. Now you check, copy str dot length is not equal to this length. So again copy str will be copying the original str. So copy str will become AA now, and original str will be modified by function such that in my function now I am calling what? AA. Now do the same thing on AA. So AA, my I can go only till, in bigger while loop my I goes till n minus 1th index. So I start my iteration. This is AA, this is AA. I is at 0. When I is at 0, it asks caret I is equal to caret I plus 1. That is true. So you do what? You do I plus plus, but while loop will not be executed because I is already at its last position. So you then finally go and do I plus plus. So this while loop will allow you to go, and it goes in if condition. It doesn't hold true because I is not less than n minus 1. In else condition also you cannot go, because this will only hold if I is less than n minus 1. Then you finally do I plus plus, index out of bounds. Nothing gets appended to SB. It remains empty. You got this point? So when we came here in the first while loop only, when we checked for this A was equal to this A, so my while loop says while I is less than n minus 1, I will not get incremented, correct? Because it is already at n minus 2th index. Fine. So I come out of this while loop, do an I plus plus, so my I is at this position. This while loop will allow, this if will not allow. So what will happen? I will again do I plus plus, and that's all. That's the end of this question. Fine. I hope you got this problem very clearly. So let's now move to the code part. If you have any doubts so far, you can ask me. Okay, so let's write the code. So you have to be very careful while writing the code. Just if you understand how we are copying and doing all those stuffs, you will be good to go. So I take a string. I took original is str. Let's say copy. Fine. String copy equals to an empty string. Fine. Okay. Then I am doing a while loop, while s dot length is not equal to copy dot length. If that is the case, first of all, in your copy you will copy the original string s and in your S you will be updating it with your function. Let's say remove, remove is your function in which you are passing which string. So you are passing the original string S only, correct? Fine, sorry, you are passing this copy string, am I right? Let me check. So I passed str is right now copied with your original string. You pass a copy and then you return. When you are out of this loop, you will return S. You will return copy. Okay, let me check if we have done this. In copy you are passing that original string, then this original string will be updated with this, and again this will have this, and finally return a copy. Okay, so now let's write your remove function. So string remove string str. Fine, let's say it is str, or it can be anything, it can be S also. Now take int I0 and you will run a while loop. While I is less than, also let me write int n is equal to s dot length, correct? Okay, so this is a bit lengthy. When we have to be very careful how iteration, we have to be extremely careful about this part. This can be confusing no matter how many times you do it. So while I is less than n, that is our for loop, we are checking if, first of all, our I is less than n minus 1, because we are comparing it with I plus 1th character. That is why we have to keep this check so that it does not go index out of bounds. And str.char at I is equal to str.char at I plus 1. Okay. Then what you are doing? Why there are two? If this is the case, first of all you will also take some string buffer, string builder also you can take. String buffer sb equal to new string builder buffer, right? So if I is less than, then while your I is less than n minus 1 and str s dot char at I is equal to s dot char at I plus 1. What you are doing? You are simply doing I plus plus, correct? In the else case, okay, you are simply appending string s dot append what? S dot sb dot append s dot char at I, correct? And anyway you are doing an I plus plus, which is part of this while loop. Fine, doing so you will finally return what? You return sb dot toString, because our return type is string, and that is all that you need to return. Okay, let me check if you guys are properly. Let us try to run it. Any other error? String, this will not be correct. str s dot char, let me check. Let's check for all the cases. right? So this question is done. So if you have any doubts, you can write in the chat. I hope you understood this. So this was a good question. And that is all for today. Right? So let's wrap it up then, everyone. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye. Take care. Let me check if you guys have any doubts. I'll just see if you guys have any doubts. I can just see the chat. Thank you for those who are appreciating my teaching. Okay, I think it's lagging a little bit, maybe due to bad network, but yeah. Okay guys, thanks if you are coming here to learn every day. Keep learning, keep coding, and see you all in the next lecture. Thank you and bye bye.